We keep the recordings nobody asks us to keep. This one begins with a man who had not slept in 9 days because every time he closed his eyes he was standing in the same field. He had never been to that field. He could smell cut grass, and under it something sweeter, like a porch light left burning for no one. He thought it was grief. It was an address.
I drove out to find the field because I could not keep dreaming it. The highway past Yucca Mesa runs straight for 40 miles and then it bends back on itself, gentle, like a thought you keep returning to. The radio found a station that signed off in the 80s. I told myself it was a rerun. The wind through the window smelled like August and it was March.
He passed the same gas station 3 times in 1 hour. The third time he stopped and read the date stamped on the pump's permit, then the calendar bolted inside the booth, then the newspaper on his own passenger seat. They all agreed. It was June of 1986. Aron Vale would not be born for another 11 months. He had driven, somehow, into the year before himself.
The clerk would not take my money. He just kept looking at the car. He said a car like that came through once before, a long time back, same dent, same man behind the wheel, and the man had not bought gas then either, only asked the way to the Hollis field and driven out. Then he leaned close to the glass and said, very quiet, "You already came. Why would you come twice?"
The Hollis place was on no map I carried, but my hands knew the turns. I parked where the asphalt gave out and walked into the grass toward a light I had been walking toward my whole life. It was not headlights, it did not flicker. It lay down in the field the way a body lies down, low and patient, and the closer I came the more the cut grass smell soured into something underneath it, something waiting.
What lay in the field was not made of metal. The recovered audio calls it a held breath, a shape the eye kept trying to finish and could not. It gave off no heat. The grass around it had not burned. It had simply stopped midsway as though the night had been paused there for 39 years. And in the center of that stillness, something tall was already standing, already facing the road, already waiting for him. It turned the way a reflection turns. Aron said the worst of it was not that the thing was inhuman. The worst of it was that it was almost him, his jaw, his tired eyes, his exact height, all of it copied by something that had never seen a mirror, only a blueprint. It opened a mouth that was nearly his mouth and made the sound a person makes the instant before they recognize someone they have missed for years.
It did not use words. It set the meaning straight into me, the way you put a key into a lock you forgot you owned. It said, "You are early and you are late and you are exactly on time." It said, "I crossed a great dark to bring one thing to this world and the thing was you." It called me son in a language made entirely of the feeling you get just before you cry for no reason.
I understood all of it at once, and understanding it was a window opening in a room I had not known was sealed. I was not born, I was planted. The dream, the field, the pull west, none of it was memory trying to surface. It was instructions finishing. My father had not come to invade anything. He had come to put a single seed into the soil of a species and to drive back later and watch it take.
We have spent years trying to name what the sower's kind come to harvest. It is not land or blood or the body. The files keep circling one word and we keep deleting it because it sounds far too small for something that crosses stars. The word is joy. They do not burn a world down. They quietly switch off its capacity to be glad, and then they let it keep living, tidy, obedient, unhurried for a very long time. And here is the part Aron could not drive away from. The seed does not take root when the child is born. It takes root the moment the child comes back and stands in the same field as the one who planted it, when the loop closes and the two halves touch. He had spent his entire life being pulled to this field so that he could finish himself. By walking toward his father, he had already begun.
I got back in the car. I do not remember deciding to. In the mirror, the field was dark again, ordinary, and my father was gone the way a held breath goes. But as I drove the looping road back toward a year I belonged in, I watched the houses, and one by one the porch lights were going out, not switched off. Going out like something inside the people behind them had been gently, finally set down.
In the months after Aron Vale came home, sleep researchers logged the same dream surfacing on every continent. in strangers who had never met. A desert at night, a low light in a field, and a tired man walking toward them, smiling, getting closer. We do not believe it is a man arriving in many places. We believe it is one thing arriving in everyone at once. Quietly, the way he arrived, as a relative you cannot turn away. There was no flash. Nothing left the earth. The last entry in the file is a satellite pass over a sleeping continent, and across it, hour by hour, the lights of small homes going dark. Not the power, only the porch lamps, the ones we leave burning out of hope. Somewhere beneath them, a whole species is waking up calm and rested and emptied of the one thing that ever made the dark worth keeping a light against.